Once Cardi came up there and gave her that award, I knew exactly what time this was. Once I seen Lucian sitting next to Jay-Z and sitting next to Taylor Swift, I knew what time it was. I knew exactly what we was doing.
He high-fived Dr. Dre.
When I seen that nasty ass high five,
I was like, ooh.
Nadeska and Ebro, honestly, y'all should be ashamed of yourself, because you know that any interview that you have with this man, if it don't start with, why'd you call that man a pedophile, then it's a disingenuous interview.
That wasn't a real interview. I saw somebody say that Bianca's look would have only been impactful if she had full bush.
Do white women curl? Like, there's just fold, right?
Let me know.
Well, I mean, I could get into it. I mean, I know a thing or two.
Since you're the expert on white.
My goodness.
I want to go to the club and I want a bottle of vodka in hand, and I want dirty whites around me, and I want to not go home till 6:45 a.m.
She definitely gives HPV. Like, that's
This is a situation where I would immediately invite you to the Frank stand.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Immediately.
I don't care about that at all.
You know, if I was Billie.
No, I don't care about that at all.
Immediately.
I'm looking at her
to the Frank stand.
She's a nice looking girl, and then she over there looking like Fred Durst. The entire Grammys, you know what I'm saying? I'm sick to my chest. I'm upset.
You know who I didn't enjoy?
Is it part of the Quincy?
Yeah,
Janelle Monáe.
Oh my God, yes.
Now that's somebody who should have had their titties out. That's for real. When Ryan talked about getting the face tattooed on his gooch, it was because he wanted things to get pushed back so they could be together a little bit longer. This is very clear that this is probably one of the first times in their entire relationship they weren't together.
Okay.
But I feel like the movie is kind of like a microcosm for something that actually is going on between them. It felt like both of them wanted to fuck Justin, and Justin was not down with it.
I don't know about Ryan, but
your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
This has been weighing on my heart for a few days now. I don't understand it. And for a lot of ways, I don't understand it, actually. But the Latin American, South American reality shows are out of hand, man. Like, what are they doing on there?
I'm going to just let you know that this is not a Latin American reality show. It started in the United States.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
This is Temptation Island.
All I'm saying is, like, when we have our shows, there's some common decency. Like, you're not a star on there. You know what I mean?
It gets busy in Brazil.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't the first time. Like, so the one that's going around now, probably everybody's seeing, is Buddy, like, flipping out because his old lady was out there, like, getting bust down.
Cinematic reality show perfection.
Like, she was riding, bruh. Like, that. See, that's when it's insulting.
That wasn't. It was the him scream, crying, and running down the beach at night while it was storming. They could not have written that.
He was losing it, man. Like, my guy was going through a transformation in regards to, like, no longer being the man he once was.
It was the most beautiful crash out.
It was horrible, man. I felt bad for him because, like, then they tried to be like, oh, he was cheating on her the first night. No, he wasn't. They was doing a little dance thing.
He was getting twerked on and stuff.
Yeah,
and
like, he didn't get
stomach licked.
He didn't penetrate nothing.
Yeah,
like, she got penetrated off the first night. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had every reason to, like, smack, like, to crash out the way he did. Like, I'm surprised, like, everybody lived.
Do you know the premise of the show specifically?
It's like you're a couple. It's like Temptation Island. So you're a couple, and then there's a bunch of singles, and they ready.
Yeah, and then they separate the couples. There's a house full of women for the guys and a house full of guys for the women. Mm-hmm. And it's always a mess. I've watched one season of this show before.
What I'm saying, though, like, for one thing, for the young ladies, because like I said, this ain't the first lady I've seen from one of these kind of reality shows who got bust down on the show. Mm-hmm. Like, where is the sensibilities at? Like, does that no longer exist there? Like,
correct me if I'm wrong, Brazilians, but the Brazilians, they a little freaky.
But they in relationships. It's not about being freaky. It's about, like, you got a code of conduct.
Freaky niggas in relationships.
Like, there's no code of conduct. Like, where does this world come to?
I don't know.
It's insane. I was hurt for bruh. Like, I could understand, like, what he was going through.
I was highly entertained.
Because it's like, it's one thing if I do it, but you can't do it. That's not, what are we doing here?
She said anything you can do, I can do better.
No, you can't one-up me either. Like, what do you?
She definitely did.
No,
she successfully
didn't one-up
him.
that nigga. She fucking trump card this nigga. It was fucking, she shattered this nigga's existence.
And the man that she cheated on him with looked like bigger.
Yeah, he couldn't fight, bro.
Like a macho man.
He could.
Yeah.
There was a loss all around. Like, I can't beat up, bro. I can't beat up you. What can I do? But crash out. But go to my lowest.
Is that why the women be getting unalived in these situations? They be like, you know what? I can't kill this man, but bitch.
Well, generally,
I'm gonna get you.
It's not because of that. It's because we're like, we had the commitment. It's just like you should never be mad at the person your partner cheats with. You should be mad at your partner for cheating. Because if your girl cheat with me and it is what it is, bro. Like,
to make it all serious.
That pussy ain't hers. No, you know what I'm saying? That pussy hers. She can do what she want with it. Like, for real. So you gotta understand that. But no, I mean,
the Brazilians get busy though.
Yeah, it's insane. I would never go on one of those reality shows. One, I can't speak the language, but two, I'm not gonna lose my mind like that. Mm-hmm. Never. No, how did you get into that was nuts. I didn't expect that at all. All right, man. You're now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and gorgeous and nefarious co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi, guys. Why did I do it like that? Hi, guys. That was weird as fuck. All
right, so y'all know what we got to get to, man. It's Grammy week. Again, she doesn't have her award friend with us. We promised y'all a year of that, and it didn't come to fruition.
Booked and busy, okay?
Well, I mean, there's a wedding coming up, so I understand.
Like,
there's a lot of work to be done.
Booked and busy.
So Grammy weekend came. I think we should just start with the looks because I have things to say. I know you don't. You hate when it comes to my fashion takes, but
I didn't want to get into the looks. I wanted to get into the performances and the awards.
I think we should just kind of start like how the Grammys do it. They come in, we see what they look like. And
all right. I wasn't really paying attention to the looks, but let's get into it.
I mean, if you don't have anything, I have notes. So.
Yeah, are there people that stood out to you as far as looks went?
Well, first off, Billie Eilish, please put on a dress. Like, I get what you're trying to do, this little punky tomboy shit, like Punky Brewster. It's over with, okay? You're a young lady now. Put on a nice gown. Is that hard to ask for? Like, am I wrong for that?
This is a situation where I would immediately invite you to the Frank stand.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Immediately.
I don't care about that at all.
You know, if I was Billie.
No, I don't care about that at all.
Immediately.
I'm looking at her
to the Frank stand.
She's a nice looking girl, and then she over there looking like Fred Durst. The entire Grammys, you know what I'm saying? I'm sick to my chest. I'm upset.
She can dress like Cedric the Entertainer if she want to dress like Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm just saying, everybody's saying Chappelle, what's her name? Chanel Roman?
Chapel Roan.
They trying to say she stink. Billie Eilish look like she stink.
Billie Eilish definitely don't stink.
I don't think she does, but she look like she does.
I don't think she look like she stink
That's
either.
like dirty trailer park fit that she wearing.
Her hair be greasy like it stink though.
Yeah, all that stuff looks weird.
She probably just smell like white people, which
like wet dog
isn't the best. Yeah,
that's
something
worse.
chemically that makes them smell bad.
Okay, so and then also I had another one too. The Smith kids. So I understand what Jaden is going through, bro. Like house nigga. Did you catch that?
Is that what he was supposed to be?
That's what I felt like it was. That's what my spirit animal.
That's what I got from it too. But then I was like, that was the first thing that popped up in my mind. So I didn't want to be like that was what he was going for. And it looked 3D printed.
It looked dope. But then somebody else brought to my attention that he was just trying to get attention just in general because of everything that's going on in his household.
What's going on in his household?
His parents tell everybody who they're cheating with. His sister is a wild girl herself. I'm about to get into her look in just a moment.
His sister is not a wild girl. We haven't heard from Willow in mad long. The last time we heard from her, she was dropping amazing music.
I can go through a list of things that was going on.
Are you coming for the ride? All right, that's the last time we heard from her.
So again, if my mom's sleeping with my best friend, yes, there's some problems that's going to arise.
That was years ago.
It's still going to have effects.
Well, yeah, 100%. But he's popped out so many times.
That shit doesn't just go away.
He popped out as Batman. I like that one though.
Okay,
I did like that one.
What happens to Batman's parents?
They died.
Okay, then so he's like telling us something there.
Yeah,
he's gone to the world. So also after that, Willow. Okay. I've been with this a long time now. With my hair back and forth, the growth into like the different genres in music. But young lady, you are a fluent black woman. Okay. You come from good stock, good Smith family. Okay. Generally speaking. Why you got to show up like that? 2-piece looking like she in the Matrix. Like, that's not necessary. Like, I'm okay with the over-sexualization when it comes to the women that are trying to raise up. They've come from the bottom and they're doing what they have to make a way. But young lady, you were born with the way. You don't have to do this. You don't have to look like the other girls. And it's insane to me. Like, again, I don't care about it for the up-and-comers. But for her, for someone who's had a hit single when she was 11 and then chose not to continue it because she didn't want to whip her hair back and forth anymore, I would think she would be someone who would go against the grain of what everybody else is doing. And it's just disappointing to see that, she looks like she's following.
All right. I hated that whole.
That's hate. Yo, that's
I
hate.
hated every single moment of that.
Hate. That's hate.
I hated you calling her a young lady, sitting on your soapbox like an old ass man.
I got to do it.
Not
though.
understanding proportions.
I understand proportions.
And the fact that she had a giant coat on that whole time. And then it was very like, if you saw her walking the carpet, she was very intentional about not letting it open too much. It was only like a sliver of skin in the middle that you were getting. It was like a little peekaboo. Okay. She had legs were legging. She got legs for days. I did not know her legs were that long. She has amazing legs. And she was not covered up all the way, but she didn't look scandalous and she didn't look trashy either. So I don't know what you're talking about. If she showed up in panties and a bra, rhinestone with nothing over it, I'd be like, girl, come on now. It wasn't the most exciting look in general. No, not by any means. But like, it's not as big of a deal as you're making it seem. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. It was very blah to me, to be honest. And I wouldn't have brought it up at all, for real. But Jaden just looked crazy.
And then we got to go with Kanye. So Kanye, you're insane. This man, Kanye West, pulled up with his wife. Not even invited to the Grammys, mind you.
He was nominated for something.
I think Carnival was, but he still wasn't invited. You still have to be invited just because you're.
That's not an automatic invitation. No. I'm pulling up if you nominate me.
Chris Brown won a bunch. He wasn't there. I think he won. No, at least he won one. But that's going to be one. Yeah, that's going to be in my award segment. I got some discussions around that too. But also, that wasn't crazy that he got what's her name? Bianca Sensory. She got butt ass for the most part. She had a little fishnet on.
I am always uncomfortable when I see them pop out.
The heavies looked all right. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I've seen her titties so much at this point that like, put them up, girl.
They're a good pair though.
Put them up. Like
can't be mad.
At the grocery store, on the red carpet, out in public, you in the restaurant, titties out. Put them up.
But that may be what he liked. She just giving him what he liked.
I mean, Kanye just told us big, beautiful, big titty women you can't just find them all the time, which I would.
It's tough to find a good big pair of titties.
I would disagree.
The gravity is against them. That's why. It is. But
I saw somebody say that Bianca's look would have only been impactful if she had full bush.
See now, I mean, I guess I get what you're going. I see where you're trying to take us.
It would have only been interesting. More woman. It would have been more interesting. It would have maybe been a little bit.
Would it have to been like fro bush, or would it just could have been just hair there? Like she could have had it.
No, it would have had to be like
she could have had a shadow.
She would have had to been preparing for this for 3 months.
She would have had like a shadow fade.
No, like not a fade. Full.
Oh, like you wanted the curl. You wanted the
full bush. Did I not say the words?
Do white women curl? Like there's just fold, right?
Let me know.
Well, I mean, I could get into it. I mean, I know a thing or two.
Since you're the expert on white vaginas.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Here, what are you trying to do there? Just because I've seen a thing or two. That's all I'm saying.
If you can count on any hands how many white pussies you've seen, less than weakest link.
The weakest. So no, this is the thing though, because she had panties on, right? That's what it looked like.
Listen, I zoomed into all the pictures looking for the lips and the labia minora and majora and the clitoris, and I couldn't see any of that. So I think she might have had some like illusion mesh panties on or something like that. I don't know, but I'm glad that she did not step out there being out. I'm glad.
Kanye seems like a guy that likes to tuck in. Like he's probably really particular about that.
Yeah.
So let's get into that dynamic because everybody was talking about.
I would have preferred to see Kanye naked on the red
See, that's
carpet.
okay. Now that's where we want to get.
Bring the balls out.
This is where we want to get to right here because their dynamic is not equal. It does not work the same way if Kanye is dick out at the Grammys.
Kanye should have pulled up in chaps.
No, nobody wants to see that.
I want to see Kanye's butt crack.
There's no social. That's disgusting. That's disgusting because nobody wants. I don't even want to picture that because you seen the picture of me going around.
We've seen so many ugly parts of Kanye. You might as well show me that crack.
No, I'm not trying to see this nigga bricked up at the Grammys. Yo. Like,
that's exactly what I'm trying to see.
Because you know that's exactly what he would do. He would like take like 3 or 4 blue chews just to make sure he had peak.
He should have showed up in gray leggings.
No,
bricked up.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He did it.
Next to Bianca naked.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do. That's the player shit that he's going on. He's showing their dynamic. He's showing the fact that this is what she wants. Like I hate this thing that goes around that everybody.
I don't know if she wants that.
We would have heard something by now.
Pulling down the dress. She was shimmying.
She wanted to make sure. She wanted to make sure it was the way he asked her to be. See, this is the thing. I think women see this imagery. We talked about this before. They see the imagery between them two and automatically think she's a prisoner. It
was just the pulling. Like, if you keep doing that over and over again, you only do that when you're uncomfortable with what you're wearing and you think it's a little too short.
I mean, of course she's going to be a level of uncomfortability, but
yeah, like if you're uncomfortable and why you got your titties out on the red carpet, it's not her fault. I'm not blaming her. Also,
what do you mean? It should definitely be her decision. Like, why do we keep framing this like Kanye is forcing her to do anything?
Kanye is the one who's forcing her to do this.
How do we know that? How do we know she didn't give herself to Kanye?
This is what Kanye does with all of his ladies.
Who else has he done this with?
He's done this with Amber. She was his little doll.
He didn't do all this with Amber.
Not this specifically.
Okay, then.
Okay, I'm talking about Kanye is the image architect for all of the women that he's with.
Yeah, that's his muse.
And he has a specific image that he wants to project for each of them. This is new. The look that he's doing with Bianca is very new. But he had a specific aesthetic that he set for Amber, the bald hair, the sunglasses. He had a specific aesthetic that he set for Kim. She talked about the whole Met Gala look when she had the mask on and she was like a little iffy about it. And he was like, you don't got to do this, but you kind of got to do this. This is kind of the look. So that's probably what he's doing with Bianca. Like, you don't have to do this, but this is what it is. And you kind of have no choice.
She knows what she signed up for. This is what exactly what she wants. This is exactly what she wants. She loves to be the curator for his attention. She loves to be his muse. I don't see anything wrong with this if she's consenting to everything that's going on, which it looks like.
Yeah, she might be consenting to it, but it's odd. She used to be a whole architectural designer, and then her family's come out like, we haven't heard from her.
They hating.
Like, where is our daughter?
Hating. They just over there hating. That's all they do.
Like, I don't know.
She's doing something. She's making the best decision she feel like she can make with her life. Is be with one of the most foreknown for artists and curators of culture.
Who else though? Taylor looked amazing.
Them bangs was awful though.
I wasn't looking at the bangs. I was looking at the dress and the little dangly part on the dress.
No, the hair that's where I didn't like the hair.
I mean, her hair looked like a wig. I don't know, but I wasn't looking at her hair at all. Not even a little bit.
Sabrina
looked amazing.
Stunning little Barbie doll.
Yeah. Chapel always looks like a drag queen. That's what she usually goes for. And then there was like Cynthia looked good.
So speaking of Roman,
there's nobody. I hate, like, all the men always give me absolutely nothing. The men give us nothing for the award shows. Stop showing up in tuxes. You know, show me some cheeks.
Nobody's pulling up cheeked up. Nobody's doing that. But
I'm doubling down on the cheeks now.
Let's stay with the Roman thing. So on the red carpet, there was an awkward situation with AP where they were interviewing Babyface. Chapel Roan comes down and they essentially just end the interview, like, abruptly. They actually start calling her over there to end the interview.
Chapel.
And they shun Babyface. So everybody was upset.
And Babyface is like, is that what you want to do? Go do that. And then he just hands the mic over.
He understands. That's the game. I think people had a worse reaction to it than he did because he knows what's up. This is the most popular person right now. She's going to win a Grammy tonight. This is who on our list of people they want us to talk to. That's number one. Number two, you are like a nice little caveat to get.
Babyface is a legend, but he's not. Those two little white girls probably were told to like interview with him. They probably don't know who he is. And then you know that you're not like currently the hottest person in the world. Like they're gonna stop you for an interview, but if somebody is walking past like a Cardi or somebody who's gonna get more clicks than Babyface, who has a more like notable name right now, then of course they're gonna do that. I think they could have did it a little bit more professionally.
Yeah,
and a little bit smoother.
I can agree with that. And it wasn't both of them. It was just only one of them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even her fault because if you watch the whole clip, there's a dude that was with them. It was a black guy that was with them who was also interviewing people. And he tries to get both of their attention to let them know she's coming. So it wasn't just, it was a production thing. This was something they were told to do.
Well,
and
no,
they were
the next person is coming. The producer's like, this is who you need to get next. Instead of being like Chapel, while the man is talking, I don't know what you're supposed to.
You just have to be like, hey, I'm sorry. We, have to end this interview.
Thank you so much, Babyface, and blah, blah, blah. And then you cut him off abruptly. Yes, but it happens on the red carpets all the time during interviews. That's just what happens when the person, there's somebody else who they want to interview more. It's completely normal. I think everyone just wanted to be mad at this. Yeah, I think they wanted to be mad at them little white girls, which like I'm not mad at.
Y'all should be mad at the internet because that's what is dictating their decision making. They're not doing it because they just want we just want to talk to legends. No, we doing what's going to get us the most clicks and most conversation. And actually that did. So it worked out for them in the long run.
Mm-hmm. And then they apologized afterwards too.
Yeah, it was typical
a
shit.
Stupid apology.
Yeah, it's what you got to do. You just got to make it,
Y'all
cool.
didn't give a damn at all about
Babyface.
Disrespecting Babyface.
Babyface, when you do a little album or something, just let us know. We'll give you a little feature. Nothing major. We'll increase the views on it a little bit so you can be happy, but it is what it is with that. All right, you want to get into the performances now?
Sure.
I didn't really feel like any of them was too dynamic for me. I think Sabrina was cool. I kind of like the whole fumbling, acting like she was messing up the whole time. Then
it was a ode to like, I forget the white woman's name, but it was a.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but if I knew the name of it,
Goldie Hawn, I think.
Okay, I think I've seen some stuff like that before. It seemed like it was a rendition of something else.
Billie Eilish and her brother performed "Birds of a Feather."
I hated that.
Why did you hate that?
It was just a horrible. I would listen to it first. I don't even like the way the sound songs.
I love that song. I think it's a beautiful song.
I don't like the way the song sounds but it's so off-putting when she's not wearing no like dress, like she's over there looking like I'm about to hear some
so you're
rock.
letting your misogyny not let you enjoy a song that's literally gorgeous.
Yeah, I want the whole aesthetic
because
I'm watching a performance now. I'm not just listening to the lyrics. I'm watching a performance.
And then did you see the like little background?
The little yellow background or field.
Yellow, the pictures of her in her childhood with her family.
I skipped through all that.
That
shit.
went through.
I'm be honest with you. I listened to like the first part and then
you weren't even paying attention.
It.
You were like, she got titties and I can't see them. Boo!
It wasn't that like that.
It just wasn't what it was.
It didn't sound good.
You're
she doesn't look nice up there.
I'm just imagining the titties under the shirt. The shirt is too big.
I didn't say anything about titties. I didn't say anything. I just said she just looks weird up there. It looks like I'm thinking I'm about to hear a rock song when she comes on there.
Billie Eilish has literally like never given that. Like she's been in triple XL t-shirts from the moment she stepped in front of a camera.
Yeah, but this one you're wearing like a jersey is not cool. And then you got a hat backwards. None of that is cool.
That's been her aesthetic. She had a strap.
Bad aesthetic. Try a new one.
I'm sure
please.
she had a dildo and a strap on during the performance.
Get a new one, please.
Get
a new one. Then who else? Do you have ones that you like? Because I have other ones that I didn't like.
I liked most of the performances. There were a couple that I wasn't like, I don't even know their names, that I didn't even like super enjoy. Chapel Roan performed.
Yeah, I like that one.
She
cool.
performed Pink Pony Club with all the clowns and stuff around her. It was really cute, and I thought it was like a captivating, like a visually captivating performance.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot going on. Charlie XCX.
That little skank up there, she was going crazy.
I was like, I want to do a line of coke right now.
That's exactly what she gives.
I want to go to the club and I want a bottle of vodka in hand, and I want dirty whites around me, and I want to not go home till 6:45 a.m.
She definitely gives HPV. Like that's when I was watching that, that's all I was thinking about.
Yeah, she gives cold pizza for breakfast.
Yeah, she gives like a weird cold sore.
Yeah,
after a week of meet after you meet her.
Yeah, definitely. She gives wet dog smell.
No, worse than that. Like wet cat. No, not the good cat either.
But I enjoyed the performance a lot.
I like what it was.
It was so high energy, and it made you like jealous that you weren't on stage. And then she had like Julia Fox and
that's what I'm about to say.
A couple other influencers on stage with her, just like hot people who were like cunty, like you know that. Yeah. Period. Look at you.
I'm telling
knowing
you,
things.
I'm in. I just don't know how to say that one girl name.
Chapel Roan.
I want to call her Chappelle Roman every time I see it, even though I know it's not that. I just want to call her that every time.
You know who I didn't enjoy?
Is it part of the Quincy?
Yeah,
Janelle Monáe.
Oh my God, yes.
Now that's somebody who should have had their titties out. That's for real. That's for real. She's been doing that the last 2 years, and then you go back to the suit shit.
Girl, back them titties back out.
I'm telling you, don't. You should have did that with.
She put the suit back on. I said, God damn it.
I was pissed off. I think
you can't go back to the suit after you showed us that you have curves.
We took 3 good steps forward, and then you took 5 steps back, and I'm like, this is. Then I thought like it felt like an SNL like skit when she started performing.
Yeah, because why would you call Janelle Monáe for the Michael Jackson tribute? She doesn't exactly have the like strongest vocals.
Especially when she's like a daughter of Prince. Like that almost 100%, feels
100%.
Kind of like disrespectful.
She should have been doing the Prince tribute with her titties out.
Yeah, that Prince would have enjoyed
that. Would have fit.
That would have been Prince would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, he would have.
But it was the same.
Looking down, smiling.
Because at first I didn't understand the hate with it because all I saw was the clip. So today was like the first time I actually watched it out. Mm-hmm. When I saw the clips, I was like, "Well, I mean, it don't seem that bad." But then when you are in the moment, you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is pretty bad."
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Like she tossed the mic. She almost hit somebody.
You know who I enjoyed, who I didn't know I would enjoy? Benson Boone.
A lot of people did. He did
the white boy who pulled his suit off.
Did you see the backflip he did?
He was it in a front flip? It was a backflip?
Yeah, he did a backflip. Looked like to me backflip, like a corkscrew.
I was like, who is this white boy? Like, and this song is so boring. And then he started doing that song, and I was like, oh, I've heard this song literally everywhere. Like, I didn't know it was him. And then he did his little backflip, and all the vocals were amazing. I was like, you go, white boy. He looked like a little Jewish boy.
And then shout out to Teddy Swims from Conyers, Georgia. Right by the way.
Yeah.
I never knew who that was until
I had
then.
no idea. But I've heard his voice a lot. He has a very powerful, like, soulful black man voice.
Yeah, it was more like a black woman voice.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
Y'all got more power.
Ray is also somebody who I had no idea about, but has a very amazing voice. I hated the beginning. We love LA with John Legend. I was like, I'm really, y'all, I have all of the empathy for them. This made it come down 2%.
John Legend, man. That nigga a trip boy.
John, get a bag legend.
He been singing to the firefighters for like 10 weeks, but we ain't got to get into all that. But I think that was pretty much it for the performances.
No, because I was saving my favorite performance for last. Doechii.
Oh, well, yeah.
Doechii was my favorite. Everybody was in Tom Brown. Everybody was black. Everybody cornrows were immaculately, like, they just did them a second before they got on stage. The complete opposite of Jim Jones cornrows. The complete opposite. And I enjoyed her so much. Doechii has been in Tom Brown the entire time she has dropped this album, mixtape, whatever it is. I enjoy it. I like it. And I like the visual of all the black ass people on stage with her. And it was all the shapes. It was fun. I liked it a lot.
I'm gonna save my criticism. I won't speak on it since that's your girl.
No, what do you have to say about it? Did you not enjoy it?
It's not about me enjoying it. I've been kind of like trying to understand like who she is for a while. And I guess it's not just sticking with me. I guess the image isn't sticking with what I'm supposed to feel with it.
Have you listened to her whole bodies of work and watch her interviews when she interviews?
I've been watching the interviews. The interviews is what's done it the most that's really like made me feel like iffy about. Like she reminds me too much of Issa's character from Insecure. Like I feel like that's who she's trying to be the entire time. And it's just like, I don't know if this is like her for real or is that just...
It is.
Is it like...
She's been on YouTube since high school.
Insecure been out for a while too. So that's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. Am I watching somebody who curated their identity from someone else or is this a coincidence? And I'm still trying to know how to consume this. It rubs me the wrong way, I guess. Mm-hmm. Especially when you add into like the surgery. You know how I feel about the surgeries and all that stuff like that.
Her surgery looks amazing.
It's not about her how it looks. It's just about the fact that it was done and that what that says to other girls and things like that. So I just always have issues.
I feel like white girls be getting surgery and they don't even talk about it.
For sure.
And you don't even know.
No, they talk about the breast. When they get the breast implants, they talk about it.
Yeah, because you can tell.
So
okay, so really quickly, the whites are down bad because of the change that they made to the Grammy nomination board.
Okay, yeah, that was true. That's what I was going to say this too. This was a before we get into the winners. This was a pandering ass Grammys.
You called it a DEI Grammys.
I mean, I did.
Yeah, I'm throwing him under the bus. He
That's
called
crazy.
it a DEI Grammys.
It felt like that because again, especially when you get to the part where Buddy was like glazing the Weeknd. Again, I'm a big Weeknd fan. That's my dude. Got to listen to the new album. But that whole session where they were like, oh, he challenged us and did all that. Like that felt so coded and nasty. And like, it feels like it leads to something else I'm going to get into of what they were trying to say.
How was it coded?
I'm going to get into it later on when we talk about the song that won a lot. But
Hating ass.
But it just felt like really nasty. Like, oh, we're trying to make sure you feel like we're one of us, especially in lights of, they brought up the election multiple times, the host, Noah. Like, it was just like, okay, I see what y'all doing. Y'all trying to give an idea of black faces running things. And it's not,
I think it was...
at what cost? What do we sacrifice to run this?
I think it was like picking the Weeknd was like representatory of everyone who's had the same criticisms of the Grammys for a long time. A lot of people have been saying the board is too old, it's too white, there's not enough diversity. And then they added more people, they added younger people, and they added more diversity to it. And then now it's showing. And I don't know why they used the Weeknd. Maybe it's because the Weeknd was the person who was the most recently and loudest about his criticism for the Grammys.
I mean, so Jay-Z went on stage and did it last year.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. But like, what are you gonna? Nobody want to see Jay-Z perform in 2025.
Like Drake said, this nigga. Again, I love the Weeknd, but Drake said this pussy ass boy from the South Side or the North Side. Like,
and then I think it hits a little bit harder because Weeknd was boycotting the Grammys, and Jay-Z was just here last year and told us to do this shit. But Weeknd has been saying shit for years and has been boycotting us for years.
I thought he did it 1 year.
I don't know. So now it looks like
that's because he was wearing that crazy ass shit on his face all year and then win no Grammy. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving a fuck about that because the stance should have always been what the stance was this Grammy shit was bullshit and we don't need it for validation. So for us to been saying that for a decade, then to now when they giving us whatever time to shine, they don't even still do it right. But we'll get into that in just a moment. It still feels like to me it wasn't a let's do it right, let's get back to the art. It was let's appease the black people that are valuable to us so that we can continue to do business as usual in the future.
Okay.
So let me get to the odd winners, okay? So this is what I mean by when I say the whites are down bad. You know who won best rock performance?
Who?
The Beatles. In
Oh, yeah, for
2025.
that, they released the AI track. Yeah.
In 2025, the Beatles are winning best rock performance.
I think it's absolute bullshit that track was allowed to be nominated in the first place. I don't think any AI music should be up for nomination for any types of awards. I don't think any AI generated art should be winning awards in general.
It's not AI generated that way, though. It's just their voices so that they can feel like they're hearing it again.
Yeah, no.
That's hate. It's just another tool.
No. These things is dead. Let them die.
It gets worse.
Let them die.
Guess who won best rock album in 2025?
Who?
The Rolling Stones.
Did they release the album?
Yeah, they had an album company. You can look it up.
Who were they? Okay, but who were they against? Because is this because nobody was dropping? Why would they only?
The whites are in a bad place. The whites are in a bad place. I have another one too. Best alternative music performance. Guess who won it?
Who?
Flea.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my goodness. Flea is like decades ago. This is like I want to say 80s maybe or 90s. Mm-hmm. Flea is an old dude too. Like they're bad. The whites are down bad.
It looks like it.
R&B is down bad too. Guess who won best R&B album? Chris Brown.
Well, yeah.
For that 1111.
I just want to see like who these people are against. But why can't I see all of the awards anywhere? Okay,
I still have another one. Mm-hmm. Best reggae album.
Go ahead.
Bob Marley. Nigga been dead for decades.
Was it connected to the Bob Marley movie soundtrack?
Maybe. I didn't check to see if it was
I
the
feel
soundtrack.
like that's probably what that was.
All I'm saying is when you got names like that still winning awards 2025, you know your genre might be dead. Like even with the Chris Brown joint, like Lucky Day won some R&B, and so did SZA. She won some R&B Grammys as well. But for Chris Brown, and then for them to not even have him on stage or invite him or anything up with it, it's kind of crazy.
Because last time he got invited to the Grammys, he beat the shit out of Rihanna.
You're right. I'm not mad at you.
Like the Grammys.
But why let him submit? Then why let him submit?
I don't know.
Also, too, why does Clyde Davis still have a pre-party? Like, I don't understand this. The Whitney Houston thing was one thing. Also, the fact that hasn't he been named in some of these Diddy
he
documents?
He was, yes.
Like, so what? Why does he still have a pre-Grammy party? Can we wake that up? I got questions that need to be answered.
I looked at the best rock performance nominees, and I don't know any of these people.
I told you down bad.
Green Day,
and then Alicia Keys. Then Alicia Keys is accepting awards for domestic violence people.
Domestic violence people? What
is
that
Dr.
mean?
Dre, the Dr. Dre award? She got the Dr. Dre whatever award from the Grammys. You didn't see that?
Dr. Dre has a domestic violence award?
No, it's not a domestic violence award, but it's an award for him, like a lifetime award that they give out to other people. That's what the award she received. It was like the Dr. Dre Lifetime Award or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah, she got that, and then that's when she mentioned the female producers and shouted out Solange, which was sweet.
Yeah, sweet. That's what I'm saying. We put all this stuff up there. We say all this fluff, but underneath it's on the foundation of disgustingness.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm over here talking about niggas over here beating up women and saying that they probably shouldn't have their name on awards, and I get a scoff.
Listen, I've said this so many times that I don't know why Dr. Dre is even.
Your boy shouted them out.
They are mans.
They probably got similar behaviors.
Did you?
Also, what is American Roots song? That was I
don't know what that is.
What does that mean? I tried to Google it. I couldn't get any good answer for it. What does that mean? That was
American Roots.
Yeah, that was the one of the awards was the best American Roots song.
Is root
I
music?
felt Native American when I read it. Like I felt like Native American should have been what was being expressed there, but I didn't find enough information on it earlier.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a genre of music.
It was. I mean, I would assume it's the Grammys.
Okay, so that's exactly what it is. You just don't know what root music is?
I don't know. That's why I was hoping maybe you did.
Nope.
So insightful.
So, song of the year. You want to get into it?
Well, let's talk about who won album of the year. Then we can get into song of the year.
Okay, who did win album of the year?
Your girl, Big B.
Oh, Cowboy Carter. Finally, like Jesus Christ! After 25 years and so many albums that probably deserved album of the year before this, she probably should have had like 5 of them shits by now. Beyonce finally has an album of the year Grammy.
Jay-Z, your crying worked. You got on stage, boo-hooed all, oh, my wife ain't got all yada, yada, yada. And there you go. You got exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself. And guess who gave it to her? Miley Cyrus.
Why did they do that? It should have been
Taylor. It should have been the other way around. Taylor should have gave her album of the year and Miley should have gave her the country song of the year.
I don't give a shit about Taylor. I was gonna say Diana should have gave her the album of the year. Diana Ross was there.
Yeah, Diana gave it to your boy.
Diana Ross was there. Like, she should have gave Beyonce her award, period. Like, but I don't know what.
Her and Miley won.
Drake could have gave Kendrick his award. We don't care.
No, y'all don't care. Okay. Disgusting.
No, what, like, yeah, amazing. 100%.
But no, Miley and Beyonce also won together. They won a Grammy together for what they song they did on Cowboy Carter.
Okay, I didn't know that. It was one of those off-screen awards.
That's why I think she said the thing where she was like, even if it's not, I'm gonna just say Beyonce.
Okay. I fuck with Miley. She was one of my back in the day favorite white women. My now favorite white woman, Sabrina Carpenter. I love the way she white womans.
It's good white women.
Yeah.
Good white women. All right, let's get into this TDE takeover because it kind of starts with Doechii because Doechii shouldn't have won rap album of the year.
With the people who she was against?
Future? That not what was it?
We Don't Like You?
Yeah, We Don't Like You. Or yeah.
I don't know. I didn't listen to the album, so I can't even.
It was a good album. It was the best. It sold way more. Yeah, but it sold way more.
It doesn't matter what sold more. It matters.
That part of it does.
It matters.
It was one of the most popular. It was literally what started the beef.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that the body of work was more impactful or more unique.
No way, it was super impactful, and he had
more unique.
He had like 3 number ones,
or like we don't know what their qualifications are. It was beautifully written in the story that Doechii told, and she bared her soul on that album. I don't think Future was bearing nothing but his wallet, probably.
No,
on
man.
His.
That album was way better.
Like I didn't fully listen to it, but like content wise, it probably wasn't different from what Future has been giving us his entire career. Can you safely agree with that?
That was one of his best bodies of work.
Content wise, was it different than what he's been giving us his entire career?
He had a bunch of different sounds on there.
No, content. Like, what was he like? The experiences he was sharing. What he was. So was it just flossing, getting money, bitches,
not
hoes?
fucking with these new niggas, man. That's what it was about.
Yeah, it was the same
with
shit.
These new niggas.
Doechii talked about being cheated on by a gay man.
Oh my goodness, revolutionary stuff there.
Yeah,
sounds like an episode of Insecure.
And her decision to sober up and stop doing drugs and drinking and clear her mind and dedicate her life to the Lord.
See, that's why I was telling y'all shouldn't have called her Harriet Tubman rap. She got Issa Rae raps. That's exactly who she is. Issa Rae raps. But like I said, once Cardi came up there and gave her that award, I knew exactly what time this was. And once I seen Lucian sitting next to Jay-Z and sitting next to Taylor Swift, I knew what time it was. I knew exactly what we was doing.
He high-fived Dr. Dre.
When I seen that nasty ass high five,
I was like, ooh.
I knew exactly what was going on.
I was like, ah.
They gave this man 5 Grammys. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone gonna give him a Grammy right now.
Now, how many Grammys does Kendrick have now?
He's probably like
22.
I was thinking about like 17. But he probably got Laker numbers.
I think it's like 20 something now.
But he definitely walked away with like best music video, song, and record of the year, which I don't think that should have been replied. I don't think hip hop artists should be able to go for record of the year because record of the year implies someone else wrote it.
Oh my God.
Somebody else did the recording. You got a lot.
That nigga got 20 something Grammys.
That was like 4 swipes.
Yeah.
But I don't think hip hop songs in what we discuss hip hop to be in regards to your writing, you shouldn't be able to qualify for record of the year because record of the year, from what I Googled, it implies somebody else wrote it. Song of the year implies the artist wrote the song.
Okay, and he got Song of the Year, right?
Both. He got Song and Record of the Year.
Oh, so he got Song of the Year for the parts he wrote and Record of the Year for the parts that other people wrote?
Basically.
Period.
Or or you could say like the production parts and stuff like that.
So do you think, what else was on the list for Song of the Year? I think
like
impact wise,
Carpenter, stuff like that was
okay. Impact wise and like cultural moment wise, then yeah, it was purchased. Insane.
This was still purchased. We know that
insane.
Shit was purchased. We know that shit was purchased.
Yeah, because a diss track has never won an award before. It wasn't on an album.
I know that nigga Drake's stomach was hurting again, dog. I ain't
That
gonna lie to
nigga,
you. My shit would have been hurting.
that nigga had stress diarrhea for the next 3 days after that.
That shit was
No,
nasty.
actually, it hasn't stopped, and it's not going to stop until after the Super Bowl. It's loose poops for
that
Drake.
nigga going through it right now, big dog. I understand it. Like, then this interview that came out. So Kendrick does an Apple interview, which is probably per his contract with the NFL and stuff to do the halftime
because
show.
it was an NFL thing.
That shit is the worst shit in the world, bro. Like, this interview was so trash. It was so disingenuous.
It was very like
I'm gonna keep it real.
uppity artist.
It showed me that Bizarre Harper was definitely just
Harper's Bazaar.
The Harper, yeah. The Harper Bazaar interview was definitely just somebody writing stuff for him and not him actually saying that. He don't talk like that. There was only one question he answered that was like sounded like anything from that interview, and it was a stage question at the end of the show.
Like, what do you say to kids for
that shit was
want to
goofy.
be themselves?
Yeah, that was the only time he had like a really good one.
And that was Anderson .Paak that asked that question.
Yeah, it was a
come on
stage.
now.
It was staged as fuck. So he knew what that was going to do with that. Nadeska and Ebro, honestly, y'all should be ashamed of yourself because you know that any interview that you have with this man, if it don't start with "Why'd you call that man a pedophile?" then it's a disingenuous interview.
That wasn't a real interview.
That's what I'm saying. It's a disingenuous interview. What they did.
Yeah, they had a list of questions that was
Were
given to
pre-approved.
them. Yeah, 100%. When I clicked on it and I had to go scroll 32 minutes into the interview to even see Kendrick pop up on my screen, I was already pissed the fuck off. I was pissed off.
Oh no, they got niggas. Okay, so I got a little clip from there.
Mm-hmm. I think from day one was to always keep the nature of it as a sport. You know, I don't care how motherfuckers look at it as far as like
He's always had that sentiment.
As a collaborative effort. You know, that's cool too. But I love when artists grit their teeth. Like, I still watch battle raps. I still watch Smack URL from Murder Mook to Lux to Tay-Rock. You know, my bro Daylight. This has always been the core definition of who I am, and it's been that way since day one. So I don't think it was a thing for this year. It was always just a continuum. And
A continuum.
what I will say about this year, it was more from a space where I think a lot of people was putting rap to the back, and you didn't see that. You didn't see that grit. You didn't see that bite anymore. So I always took that in consideration in going into any type of music.
That's interesting. So I hope this makes sense, right? You know, we've been following your journey for about 15 years, and you have been so consistent in the messaging and the focus, like you said, and you've always moved with integrity. So in a lot of ways, I feel like
Integrity.
we thought we knew exactly who you were as an artist in a positive way. And then last year, it felt like you unlocked a whole new dimension for us. But that person, like you said, was always in there. But I'm wondering, do you still surprise yourself sometimes? Did you surprise yourself last year, or was it just us, the fans, with our jaws on the floor, just stunned?
That's a good question. Surprised myself? Nah, I don't think I surprised myself because this
Because I'm a certified
for
hater
me
and I hated that
and
nigga.
for my partners that's been around me since 2005, 2006, like my brothers, they know my personality. They know my capabilities, even when it wasn't presented to the public at first, right? So this is just like a revolving door of what I've been doing in Carson Studios, at the homie garage, or my brother.
All right, so, but yeah, like I said, it was a trash interview. You learned nothing. You got nothing from it.
I didn't think I was going to get anything from that, for real. After, like I said, scrolling through 32 minutes into it. And then seeing all the labels and sponsors and everything all over the place, and seeing Ebro and Nadeska sitting there, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fluff. Like, like you're not sitting down with bottles all around you with what's his face, the nigga Nori.
Ebro?
No, I said he's not sitting around with bottles.
You're talking
Nori,
about? Oh, you're trying to say drink champs?
Trying to get busy for real. Like,
well, they don't even get to it at drink champs, really.
Okay.
But Nori would have asked him that though. He would have asked him.
I think like if you read between the lines, like when she asked him like, "Oh, were you surprised or was anybody surprised?" Like he's like, "No." Like
no, there was tons of subtext.
Like no, I was coming for this nigga. Nobody was surprised. I'm a certified hater. This comes from a place of hate. I've accepted that I'm a hating ass nigga, and like. And then also, like, he was like, I like rappers that rap. Like, I like when niggas come for me. Like, but Kendrick has been saying this for years. Like, come for me. Like, I feel like, you know that nigga that is too excited to fight? He'd be like, ooh, I'm just waiting for somebody to hit me. Like, I hope that's Kendrick. Like, that nigga is, calm down. Don't calm down at all, actually. Hate more niggas and do this again.
But again, it was so much subtext just in what his words were just implying, and just it was a lot of just shade, a lot of shade there.
Yeah, it was a master class at backhanded shade.
That's why your shit got leaked. So if you didn't hear the set list,
yeah,
not along with the set list, but the audio from the performance also got leaked out.
Oh wow, that was definitely somebody in Drake's camp.
Well, it's funny because the person who I saw posted is a Canadian who is a big Drake fan. So I don't know if he's in the OVO camp. He's actually in the Joe Budden camp. So, but that was the person who I saw. He got locked out of his page because he posted it too.
Oh, that's crazy. So the set list is,
it's a bunch of G and X, and then he got
Bodies, then Squabble Up, Humble, DNA, Euphoria, Fuck the Big Three line from and then Man at the Garden, Peekaboo. Kendrick says he wants to perform his favorite song, alludes to it being Not Like Us. Then Luther, All the Stars, Not Like Us played, and then
he finished with Turn the TV Off.
Oh, turn TV off. Okay. Yeah, and there's audio confirming that this is real.
Yeah, I heard it.
And you can't post it due to copyright stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard it. It's gonna be some parts in there where they're like, he's not saying it, or he's gonna be probably like talking to the crowd and stuff because they cut different parts of the music off. But I heard through the whole thing. So I mean, he's gonna be, if he does it the way he does, man. That if that crowd says certified, he says certified lover boy, and that crowd says certified pedophile, the world is going to change. I might not be able to look at it. I might have to turn my back to this when this comes on.
What? Me and your mama gonna be like, whop, 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 whop.
I don't think I could watch this, man. I can't see a light-skinned brother get killed like this on.
Watch it
on national television.
His mama white.
That's true.
By your playbook.
We still get these same
He's
effects.
bottom of the barrel black man.
I still don't want to see it.
It should be the easiest to see.
It probably would be the easiest. I still don't want to see it.
So you gonna watch it with both eyes?
No, I'm closing my eyes.
Like a man.
I'm gonna wear an owl mask while it's on, just to protect myself.
I'm showing up in PG Lang.
No, I'm gonna burn it.
I already ordered it.
I'm gonna burn it when it gets
on your
here.
Card.
Yeah, and I'm gonna burn it as soon as it gets here. I'm here. So when it comes, I'm just tear it up.
Had it delivered to work.
Oh, okay. We can get that changed easily.
How?
Send them the request.
You can't reroute a package after it's already confirmed.
Watch me.
And you're not even the person who placed the order.
My folks was in logistics. I know.
Let's get off this. It's boring.
All right. We got some white tea. In my white tea.
Yup.
In my white tea.
Yup.
All right. For the copyright strikers. So I'm pretty sure this is funny because we kind of got caught into this, but we didn't really stay on it.
No, we did not.
We had seen, if you listen to our show in the past, right, last year, we talked about Blake Lively and her interview that she did where she like made the interviewer uncomfortable and said some things about pregnancy that I guess the woman couldn't have kids or something.
Yeah.
So she was like, they portrayed her as a mean girl during that time. Mm-hmm. According to that, it was actually a coordinated attack from her co-host from the movie It Ends With Us. Is that what it is?
Yes, Justin Baldoni.
Justin Baldoni.
Y'all, it has been a mess.
So much.
Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni. Then Justin Baldoni sued Blake Lively back. Now there's somebody else suing Blake Lively. Somebody who was mentioned in the first suit.
Wasn't an intimacy coordinator? The intimacy coordinator?
No.
The health guy, the holistic guy.
He was listed as a defendant in Blake's case. Now he's suing Blake. Now there's 2 lawsuits against Blake. I heard Blake tried to drop the lawsuit and the courts didn't let her.
Mm-hmm. I heard that as well.
Let's get to the tea because he knows like the technicals and things, and I know just the messy, juicy juice gossip. So while he tells y'all the technicalities, I'm gonna interject with just the sweetest of gossip, the sweetest tea.
Okay. So what kind of sparked everything to this?
All alleged.
Was when Blake Lively put in this harassment suit with like CDR, I believe that's the institution inside of California that allows you to go through, like, say I've had workplace harassment and things like that.
Yes. And T already got some. This was planned. She said allegedly to people that if she didn't get what she wanted as far as like movie credits and being able to take over the movie, that she would simply just sue him for sexual harassment.
Joy Taylor behavior. So this came
Allegedly.
out. These are some of the allegations the claims that she made, and these ones are the ones that have already been shown to be false from his perspective and the information that's been put out. So this is what she claimed: claims of fat shaming, claimed that there was never an intimacy coordinator properly involved in scenes. Mm-hmm. The birthing scene wasn't a closed set. She was showed a nude woman. And then also that he was like very aggressive or very like into their scenes that they were doing when they had like the sex scenes or whatever.
Let's run through that. So the first thing was the fat shaming. She gave birth a couple months before this movie started. She was the one who kept bringing it up over and over and over again, her weight, and that she wanted to lose 20 pounds and she wanted to move like the intimate scenes and the body shots to the end of the shooting schedule so that she could lose the weight. Justin in the text messages dislikes that text where she says that she wants to lose weight and she doesn't feel confident about it. And he only encourages her to be confident about her body. What's the second one?
The next one was the lack of an intimacy coordinator.
There was an intimacy coordinator she refused to meet with. Justin continuously met with. Justin wanted her and encouraged her to meet with. She refused.
She didn't end up meeting with him at the end, though, before the scene started. She did end up meeting with the coordinator. Also, the birthing scene wasn't a closed set. He, on his website, shown documents that it was actually a closed set. Mm-hmm. People there were the people who were supposed to be there, that everybody was cool, and that she was aware of that. And there was actually text messages of her saying how the scene went great.
Yeah. And then there was also an incident where she says that he walked into her dressing room while she was breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. And then the text messages show that she invited him into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. And there was a meeting that was supposed to be going on and she was just like, but just come here instead.
Also, too, when she said that she was shown a nude woman, the nude woman was the other person. It was one of the intimacy coordinators' wife after she had the baby. And you could see nothing. It was just like a quick picture of where
of
you
her
see,
like holding the baby in the hospital.
You see
bed.
him holding her and then her holding the baby.
Come on now.
So that was what they said with that. So when it comes to find out, when you kind of get into the story, and like I said, we're going to just try to simplify the story for y'all.
Yeah, and just give y'all the juicy tidbits.
So this is what it seemed like was going on. So this Ends With Us movie, basically, it comes from a book. Justin got the okay from...
Like Colleen, I don't know her last name. Colleen Hoover, I think.
He got the okay from her. He even shows those emails.
He bought the rights to the book. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he got the email from her that shows that she was cool with everything.
There's a morality clause in that contract so that if he's tried for like sexual harassment or anything, DV or something like that, then he would lose rights to the book.
So yeah, this is why all of this is kind of really important in regards to that, because Blake is also a producer on this.
Well, she strong-armed her way into being. So in the beginning, she was going to get an executive producer credit. And apparently this is like a normal thing that happens with stars of her stature. They just give them like a symbolic executive producer credit. She and her husband strong-armed her way into like actually producing. And then at the end they like strong armed their way into the team nominating her from like some writers award too.
So yeah, there was a lot of manipulation that kind of went on to it, because they talk about how they kind of developed their relationship, especially if you go through his website. So that's the big thing too, is Justin and his team dropped an entire website where you can see his amended suit, and then you also
original.
see all of his documents that has had all the relevant timeline events, is what he calls it.
Just screenshots that put CVS to the receipts that put CVS to shame.
Yeah, so the way that Justin kind of portrays it is they were using their celebrity in a way to garner favor with him early on. They kind of invited him over. They wanted to have discussions where their partners met and talked to each other. They talked about being family and opening up and things of that nature. They were also very crude in their joking. She talked about using no teeth and how she was a ball buster and things of that nature.
Ryan talked about getting somebody's face tatted on his gooch.
He did. And so this is where, if you watch anything with Ryan Reynolds, if you watch his interviews and stuff, you see that he does that. Like, it's part of him saying weird, uncomfortable things around people to kind of break the ice. That's what it feels like he's doing. To me, it's also a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
How far can I get
Now
you
it
into
seems-
this? Yeah, I mean, yeah. How far can I get you to where you're a point where now the lines are so blurred that I can now flip the script on you? Mm-hmm. Also, too, it seemed that she was very interested in him. She invited him when she was pumping into the read lines and stuff into her trailer. There was just a behavior of which I could see they were setting him up, that if he didn't acquiesce to their demands, they were going to turn those events around.
And then that clip, you saw that clip where they were doing that, like, it wasn't a super intimate scene, but they were like very close to each other. They were slow dancing. They seemed like they were about to kiss. It was very romantic and intimate. And then he's like into it, and then you can see him like snap off character, and he's like, cut. And then she's like shocked by it. And then that was one of the scenes that she mentioned. She was like, oh, well, he wasn't in character. And then everyone was in the comments like, girl, you were the one that wasn't in character and like actually in love for real. Yep. And then, hold on, that voice note that he left her, he was like, hey, baby, I know you're sleeping right now. Like, I was like, this is sexually charged, okay?
He can't help the way his sleepy voice sounds.
I don't know, but if you sound like that at 2 a.m., don't talk to me. I'm married and you're married.
No, for sure, 100%. But she was, inviting a different level of behavior. One thing to be noted, too, was the movie Deadpool was being filmed around this time as well. So they weren't around each other as much as they are used to. That's even shown in the text messages with him and Ryan, because like I said, the thing about what Ryan talked about getting the face tattooed on his gooch, it was because he wanted things to get pushed back so they could be together a little bit longer. This is very clear that this is probably one of the first times in their entire relationship they weren't together.
Okay, and I'm gonna put some notes down because there's several things that you just brought up that I want to get to. So let's talk about Deadpool and Nice Pool.
Yep. So there was a character in there that, if y'all noticed, there was a Nice Pool character. His hair, the way that his beard looked, it was very similar to Justin in his appearance. There's also a deleted scene with a joke that is so on the nose where he talks about creating a female feminist podcast, which Justin does have.
Okay, and then there's another joke about pool dog, dead dog. And then he's like, you got to keep an eye on her because she tries to find a new papa as soon as somebody else is in sight, don't you?
That would have been a Blake thing.
And then that was definitely about Blake, because did you see the promotion interviews that he did with Hugh Grant and his mother? And he was like, why were you trying to replace me as Blake's husband? And why were you trying to replace me as Hugh's best friend? And that was it. And then his mom comes and like, why were you trying to fuck my son's wife?
Oh, shit.
And then it's like,
they said it to Hugh?
no, to Justin.
Oh, I never seen that.
Yes, you didn't see those? It was a whole thing. And then I was like, bro, why is Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman promoting It Ends With Us? Y'all are not in this movie.
Well, they did say there was another thing, too, in which they talked about Blake lying about how they were going to use their production company to help with the marketing. But she implied that it was going to be for free off the muscle, and they like charged them like double.
Okay, so really quick before I get into No, let me. So also in that whole thing, when you said you don't think that they've spent that much time away from each other, there has been whisperings of how controlling Ryan Reynolds is in relationships, especially with his previous relationship too with Scarlett Johansson. So he basically didn't want her to work anymore after they got together because he wanted her to be at home and only for him to only have access to her, and that's it. And I think that was probably what's going on too with Blake Lively, because she hasn't had too many. Like, she pops out once in a while and does something. Last thing that she was in was that movie with Anna Kendrick, and before that, I can only remember Age of Madeline and then Gossip Girl, and then that's all I remember from her, for real. So,
I mean, she also talked about that in her text message about feeling like she couldn't get her creative voice out the way that she wanted to.
And then I also want to talk about
last part about the Nice Pool.
Yeah.
There's also a scene in which Nice Pool gets shot up. The person who's shooting him is supposed to be the female Deadpool, who was voiced by Blake Lively in the movie. She's not in character. She's not the person wearing the outfit, but that's her voice. So again, they showed her basically shooting Nice Pool up. And the fact that to think about this individual, and I think this is important to put in character, to be this kind of psychopath that's going to use $1 billion movie to bully or shit on and intimidate a person from allegations you're going to make in court shows the kind of like thought that how I'm untouchable these folks thought they were.
Yes, they definitely think they're untouchable, because do you know what Blake refers to Ryan and Taylor Swift as?
I missed that part.
Her dragons.
Oh man.
She sees herself as Khaleesi.
This is the Game of Thrones.
They neither of them think that they're touchable. So I wanted to get into how weird it is that Ryan was rewriting the script.
This is also part of them trying to strong arm the production firm.
Yeah, because who do you think you are?
Yeah.
There's at one point at the end of the movie where the producer Justin is supposed to have a couple weeks at the editing bay by himself to do his editor's cut, and then Ryan and Blake strong armed their way into that, and then the studio really like wanted to refuse, but then she threatened to not do any marketing for the movie at all. So then they were like, okay, you can do 3 days of editing. She ended up doing 10 days of editing, and then requested to have Justin removed and to do the last couple weeks of editing by herself. And then when the Ryan's editor's cut was tested and her editor's cut was tested, she was like, I promise that whoever has the more positive feedback, we can release that one. Justin's editor's cut was more popular amongst the tests, and she again threw a fucking hissy fit and was like, I'm not gonna promote anything. She's just not gonna show up. And then they had to release her version instead.
Crazy.
It was literally like, when you start to get into everything that's been going on with this movie, it is like the shining example of just white people using their privilege to strong arm their way into just think that they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And then white women just sitting there and benefiting off of the evil psychopath shit that their white men do.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds is a psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I felt like. Granted, I understand this is probably more in line with a movie, but I feel like the movie is kind of like a microcosm for something that actually is going on between them. It felt like both of them wanted to fuck Justin, and Justin was not down with it.
I don't know about Ryan, but
No.
Blake wanted to fuck Justin.
Ryan wanted Justin to pull on his dick. I'm trying to tell you, that's what it felt like. It started off with them separately wanting them, and then when they found out that both of them wanted them, they were upset, and they felt like, this isn't our problem. This is his problem. He's the common denominator in both of our stick here. So let's turn it on to them. Or it could have been one of them situations where it's like, my wife got too comfortable with you, and now she got to prove to me that this ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Because by golly, if I seen anything like this going on, it's going to be crazy in the absurd household. No lie. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah. I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to get into.
Yeah, they're supposed to be going to court in March. They tried to
of 2026.
I mean, what do you expect? A lot of stuff going on
I
in LA
want
right now.
that judge put to death.
That makes sense though.
Very simply put, because I want this case to start. What is today? The 7th. I need this case to start on the 10th.
These ain't these ain't normal people. They got crazy schedules. That
I need this to start on the 10th.
No, we'll see it soon. Don't worry. This will play. It'll probably get dropped by the time we get to March. But next
Blake
year
was trying to drop it.
They're
and
gonna
didn't let her.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get something out of
you
it.
Frivolously use the courts, and now you have to deal with the consequences of doing so.
If I'm him, I'm just gonna try to get part of her marketing team to work for me for free for my next film. Like, that's the best thing you can get out of that.
I want, was it Sony? I don't know which studio. Release Justin's cut, please. Release it. People have been requesting for them to do so.
You know what another funny part about this is the fact that she started this lawsuit off not only with the harassment claims, but like showing that he was trying to like do a smear campaign against her, and didn't think to like people were going to ask, why did he do that? Why would he want to do a smear campaign? It's like nobody thought that you didn't think anybody would ask that question?
No, because she thought that she would just do whatever she wanted and get her way like she does with the studios. But these are the courts, baby. Like these
that
are
was
the
like
courts.
that was the one part that was like, because they showed the part where he was like, oh, we're going to do this like how they're doing Halle Bieber. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to give her the Hailey Bieber treatment.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, you don't think anybody's going to ask why? But whatever.
And then he literally showed receipts of you putting him and his entire family in a basement for the premiere after you banned him from going to the premiere in the first place. And then, I cannot believe I forgot this. She took over the movie's whole wardrobe for her character. Mm-hmm. They had already spent she took over the movie's entire budget for her character's wardrobe. They spent so much more money than they would have if she just would have stuck to the original like stylist and whatever they chose for that character. Mm-hmm. And then paparazzi photos leaked of them recording the movie, and the public had the most horrible reaction to the style that she picked for this lady. And then the studio was pissed off, and Justin got in trouble for it because he's the one that was like, fuck it, you can just go ahead and take over the wardrobe for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, it's just nasty, especially like too when it's the wardrobe thing where he's like, I guess the word was sexy was being used on set.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I want to do the beanie because it's sexy. Bitch, a beanie has never been sexy ever. Like,
but to use that against him, to say that he was trying to harass, like, that's what I'm saying, where it's just, this shit was all nasty. All
you could be naked, beanies on each titty, still not sexy. Sorry. Like, what is that?
Hey, so before we wrap up, man, I need to inform the people at home, man, our country is being captured by South African. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I know everybody sees that in real time, and my thing is this: if you want us to have transparency, and you say, "Oh, you're trying to find all of this fraud," instead of making all of these claims, show us the paperwork, Doge. Like, Doge has yet to show us any details of all of these claims, of all of these, oh, we've gotten these contracts done and we've stopped these leases on these federal buildings that weren't being used and all that other shit. You know why they probably won't? Because when you go into detail about what those buildings were being held for and why they were being held up, we'll probably learn a lot about facilities and things that were trying to be done, but certain parties were pushing against it for those things that happen, to the point where now we just paying on this lease because we might do something now. Mm-hmm. But I think we should just understand, like, we have to be extremely careful with this. Okay. So one of the things that's been released as well, and this is funny too about Elon, is that he talks about being free speech guy and, oh, we got to be free speech. But then he gets upset when his Doge boys get released, talking about you've committed a crime. If y'all claim to be a government entity, that means we deserve to know who you are. So I'm going to say your names. So let's go here. These are like some 19 to 22-year-old kids that work for Elon. and have our social security information.
That's crazy.
Akash Baba, Luke Farterator, Ethan Shawatran, Edward Corsentine, and then the two people who weren't Gaither Cole Killian and Gavin Kilger. Kilger. Those are the gentlemen working for him. Again, all these gentlemen between like 19, 22-year-old. And I have some videos that I found about them that I think would be really interesting for us to play right now. So let's see. This is for Luke. I'm going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play a little bit of it. So it says he is
So
the
I've
first
always been interested in history. Growing up, I learned Latin. I was never that good at it, but I was always kind of into that sort of stuff, read a lot about the Roman Empire and things. And one day I was just listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them. But some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition to see who could find writing inside of these scrolls. And when I heard that, I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool project. I have to work on this. I just went home from work that day at the end of the day, and I've been working on it evenings and weekends ever since. I run most of the things from my laptop. It's just a normal MacBook, don't worry. But then I've just got like 5 surplus computers in here. This is what I do most of my work from. The Rake School and just the University of Nebraska as a whole has provided a great educational background where I can then, take these skills that I've learned and apply them to problems like this.
So you can already hear this kid is an impressionable youngster. Like, you can definitely tell that if Elon asked him to do something illegal, I'm pretty sure he's not going to give you much pushback. So here's another kid right here. Hold on. Here's another. This is Edward.
Meet Edward Corstein. He's one of the 6 minions that's been identified
Minions?
as helping Elon and his little team of destroying, basically the government from the inside. And so he's one of those guys been sitting in the building with him, getting access to stuff he shouldn't have a clearance for, most likely, because he's just 19 years old. He's barely out of high school, and he has access to all this stuff.
Can't even
Now,
drink.
His
He has
full frontal lobe hasn't been fully
security.
developed yet, right? Because he's still so young. He probably doesn't realize the damage he's doing to people around the world, the United States, and his own father's business. See, his dad's a CEO, Charles right here. CEO of Lesser Evil Foods. I buy this popcorn probably once a week. I love this popcorn. It's a little bit more healthy, and I love that about it. So, but now I'm never buying that product again. I'm telling my followers that you should not buy that product again.
I don't know if y'all
And I
eating the
hope
way
the
y'all
beer
think
creators
y'all
get a hold of this, and we have that
but not buying
Starbucks
this no
effect
more.
because of what your son is doing right now. So, consequence.
I just think it's
Because his son is making more money younger. Like, Dad,
well, we don't know that.
I got you, Dad.
I think part of this, these guys might be just interns.
Are
like,
they just interns?
They're right now what they're labeled as is just his DOGE team. They're not labeled as it because they don't have clearance. They're not a government body. Mm-hmm. This man doesn't have any kind of right to do what he's doing. That's why it's the problem. And the fact of that people honestly believe they are trying to account for fraud and things of that nature. I don't see anything in Elon Musk's history that we should believe he has good intentions with that information. Like, people don't know they're trying to put missiles in space. Trump already put the executive order to wake up a program that was supposed to be like an Iron Dome where they put missiles in space. So if they shoot missiles at America, we can shoot them from space to block them.
Is there not a more efficient way to do that?
You know who wants to do that? It's Elon. He's all like, yeah, let me put some nukes in space, boss. Or the other way around.
Elon literally is just
he's Lex Luthor.
The most shining example of white mediocrity.
100%. He's Lex Luthor. And he's not even the cool Lex Luthor. Like the one that was in like the animated series or like the first 2 Superman.
He don't even got the cool bald like.
He's Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor. Like he's the sucker Lex Luthor.
He built like a fridge.
It's disgusting.
I hate it so much. I hate seeing him.
I don't understand people who are trying to just be on his side and say that he has our best interest in heart. I haven't seen anything to that contrary. All I've seen is quite the opposite. Somebody who wants to enrich himself in his own pockets.
Didn't he get escorted out of the White House or something like
No,
that.
they were
he
trying
got
to.
banned from the White House. They said that he can only work in the Capitol building across the street from the White House, right?
He was trying to get an office in the White House. This is what I read. He was trying to get an office in the White House. They denied that, put him across the street, but he does go back and forth there. But he was in the Treasury, and that's where all of the Democrats were going to try to get him out, because they had like the armed forces were not allowing them to go inside because they're trying to subpoena him to have a discussion about what are you doing and what's going on and give us information. They do the announcement for it so they can have the council and everybody vote. They don't tell everybody. So there was eight people who didn't get to vote. So then they were like, oh no, well, we don't have to do it now. And they're like, no, you need to do a recount and let us all know
like what the fuck
within the right time, because
oh my God.
But this is what
they
he said.
Doing some nonsense
no,
over
but
there.
after the dude who missed one of the votes tweeted that and told people what happened, this is what Elon says. Don't be a dick, mate. He told the nigga, don't be a dick, because they trying to get information from you.
You're in government. Find different verbiage.
I'm telling you. Well, he's not in government. That's the thing. You gotta stop saying that.
Didn't he?
DOGE is a special interest
No,
group.
but wasn't there like a
No,
role that he
he's
got,
DOGE.
like the
DOGE.
efficiency?
That's DOGE.
Oh, okay.
And that's not anything government. That's like a think group, like a think tank.
What the fuck?
That we've allowed to have information that they shouldn't have. And they keep trying to compare this nigga to George Soros. George Soros did not have control of the Treasury. There's a difference. If you prove that you have this, fraud, I'll listen. I'm 100% down for listening. But ears. I'm not believing that you taking down the U.S. aid, are helping us develop worlds is going to be in a good light. Because the one thing about it is, that stuff was brought into what was going on now around Kennedy's time, and it was for an important reason, because for a while we were not looking at these countries and treating them and putting them to the side, and then you got created all these terror cells that were able to organize and attack because all of the bullshit that was going on. That's why you give that aid, because you want to develop these countries so they don't grow up to destroy us and kill us like they did, in 2001. So,
oh my God.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at the actual history of it, look what we had. We had Reagan, Bush. So that was 3 terms of Republican presidency.
Yeah. Then
you have the Democrat, which is Clinton, who tries to make shit, better, but ends up, when you've been so aggressive in those first parts of being just like ruthless with it, and then when you try to talk to them, they're not going to want to just talk.
No.
Because they don't believe you from the 3 presidents of the 3 terms of violence, basically. Then you get Bush back in, and then what do we get? Big time attack. So I mean, again,
9/11.
I want to avoid that, and so I think that's what the importance of having aid and all that stuff is to do. It is to deter from them actions, but nobody cares about that. Y'all want to try to go to this isolation shit, gonna fuck us all over. I just promise you, that shit don't work. That shit only works when you tax the rich to the oblivion. Like, I promise you, that shit don't work otherwise. But I think that's good,
the
man.
only answer.
I think we did a good job today.
It was a very fun show.
I always have fun with you, baby.
I think the Grammys gave us a lot of content to talk about, and I appreciate it very much.
We got to have giggles, and we got to still talk about black and white people.
Yeah.
We got to find a way. We always do. All right, so life is a labor of love. So let's keep building these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should be exploiting is these corporations. Tell them what to do, baby.
Follow us on all of the social media at talk.fnf.tv on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you're currently on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Love you. Bye.